Okay, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Kohoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. That by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the Akim and Akwaf. That's all here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawak. Just coming at you with another quick morning lesson. Listening to the radio, scrolling through the phone, checking out a few news articles, and supposedly they have the Strait of Hormuz open for the. I'm assuming, I'm not sure how much longer this ceasefire is, or if they extended it or whatever. But they're supposed to be letting a lot of those ships through. Basically, it's supposedly open as if it was never closed before. So I'm assuming all those tankers will be able to get through there. And this was a part of the ceasefire right here with these Lebanese. And it says thousands are displaced Lebanese head south as ceasefire takes hold. So they're pretty much going back to really nothing, because the shit done been bombed and shit. It looks like Gaza. They didn't leave anything untouched over there really like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's really, scripture says to never trust thine enemy. I don't know why they would even trust that Israel is going to keep their word. They haven't ever. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's lucky for the noise. I'm driving, got parts and stuff, but it's kind of weird that they would actually, I know they don't fully. I'm sure they got. They side eyeing them. They gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are never to be trusted. Esau, Edom, these Edomites, they're not trustworthy people. They're not a people of their word. And that goes back to even when they, well before the so-called Native American Indians, man. Everywhere they've ever been, they just, them rape, robbed, pillaged, and lied their way through to everything that they have. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to stop. That's the thing. Because Israel has an agenda. The Greater Israel Project. They're not about to stop with that, man. This is their really last chance to get America to go ahead and get off into the straight business of destroying Iran, because that's the last little stronghold over there, and they're not going to stop. And again, the scripture says to never trust thine enemy. So why are they trusting these people? I don't get it. And especially with their track record. It's not like their track record it says they're not to be trusted. And this is why we tell our people, like right now they have this lady, she's a so-called black lady, right? Her last name is Schwartz. I'm not sure her first name, but she supposedly, was a naval doctor or something like that, to that extent, or whatever the case may be, and Trump was talking about how she's a special talent and all this, that, and the third. And she's taken over the CDC. And I found that to be interesting, because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Remember that last so-called black lady? You don't even hear about this lady no more. Nobody has seen this bitch in years. Remember the so-called black doctor that Fauci was talking about? You so-called blacks people should be appreciative that, you know what I'm saying, is one of your own that helped develop this vax, that shot. You ain't heard nothing from her no more. You ain't seen her no more. And see, when they do stuff like that, the first thing I thought of, Esau, he's very cunning. And so when I seen that, I'm like, yep, they could be coming with something soon. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, because when they throw a so-called black woman up in there like that, they always coming for the tribes first. So, and I'm not saying that, that's just me speaking as a man, but they're going to try, they're always using that. Remember the so-called black woman they used to terrorize our people with that syphilis? And that's the reason why a lot of our people didn't take that COV19. They didn't trust Esau. And that's the way that you're supposed to be. You're never supposed to trust this man. This man is not to be trusted on no level. He's the fucking devil, man. But when they slip this lady off in there, there's, especially when Trump, they done fired all so-called black people anyway, when it comes to anything that's got to do with the administration. And all of a sudden, you got this nigga woman coming off in there, and she's the specialist, and she's so talented, and she's about to run the CDC. And, you know, again, they always slipping that nigga woman, and she's you so-called black women, y'all really gonna catch it, man, for the shit that you have done when you partnered up with the so-called white man, the enemy, to destroy your people, man. He really used y'all to destroy the shit out of our nation. But again, I don't believe it's no coincidence that she's there, because she gonna be running down all kinds of shit, and it's gonna mainly be. Now I was watching this other lady yesterday, where they was having that UN meeting where they was talking about reparations and how the transatlantic slave trade was the worst atrocity that happened on the planet. You know, when you had you know, the three countries that didn't agree was, you know, of course, the United States, Israel, and Argentina, which is a bunch of damn Edomites, small hat Amalekites, and you know, just regular demonic ass cavemen ass hunting ass Edomites. You know, they're the one, and those were the ones that benefited off enslaving our people. But you know, she was a so-called black woman that was supposedly trying to stand up for these rights of, you know, and it's not the place of our women to even be out there like that. But that's all prophetic as well, because the Lord said that he was make a woman compass a man, and so that's actually happening to Esau as well, because they're being overran by their women now. Their women don't, you know, got them as baby daddies and shit like that now, right? So taking their asses to the ringer in these courts. Before, they had it made, and they came up with all these laws to fuck Jacob, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and now those very same laws are actually fucking them up. And these Edomites are falling off bad. I was watching this guy, I think he's got this show called, I'm trying to think of his name right off, a British guy, the mother of all talk shows, George, I think something. But he had a little short this morning that I was watching of a Pakistani woman, right, in Britain, pretty much denying or English British citizen their citizenship there. I'm thinking like, goddamn, y'all losing on every front. A Pakistani woman, she's in charge of telling an English man that was actually born there. You know, so the curses are falling on Esau, man. A lot of things are happening to Esau that only used to happen to us. Then a lot of the, you know, I've seen a couple of elders go into videos with, I actually seen a couple of news stories where these countries, or even these Americans, you know, but just in general, these countries throughout the world, these Europeans, these Edomites are coming up against those small top Edomites, because it hasn't been going well with them. You know, with you know, after that Gaza shit, people start to see, you know, some video. That's the reason why they had those media blackouts. You know, they don't want you to see like with this new shit that's going on with Lebanon. I guess they just like completely like, because they was knocking off a lot of those journalists, man, killing a lot of those journalists, man, that was reporting on the atrocities that was going on over there. And they do these media blackouts because they don't want you to know the wicked, evil shit that they're doing. They was talking about them using that white phosphorus shit on them children, and that's a crazy weapon, bro. But that lets you know too that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Scripture says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? The Lord gave this man the mindset of the weapon. You know, he's gifted with that sword. So for you to even come up with a weapon like that, where it's basically the white phosphorus, from my understanding, it can't be deflamed, so to speak, once it's going. You know, it hits your skin, and they have to amputate wherever it lands at. You know, if it lands on your, you know what I'm saying, on your arm or your hand or your legs, or, you know, shit, if it hits you in your face or your chest, you just through. But they have to amputate that particular limb because they can't. It's nothing they can do to actually stop that inflaming corrosion of that particular agent that they have in that bomb. And so they made it illegal. They got treaties on this thing, you know what I'm saying, where you're not, supposed to use that particular weapon. But, of course, Esau, again, he doesn't keep his word. They got the videos of, these Amalekites, throwing a man. They said the man was already dead. Throwing the man off the damn building, throwing his body off the roof, which he might have not even been dead. His ass could have been straight alive. So they've been talking about that, how they're shooting these kids in the head and chest. These some vicious ass people, man. Very vicious people. And it's plenty of videos. All you got to do is just, you can see videos of them spitting at Christians. You can see videos of them, just telling you straight up that all those so-called Arabs over there should die. Like, none of them should be left alive. One guy, he was like, well, what about the babies? He's like, well, those babies are going to grow up to be Arabs. So they should go, basically. Old ass Edomite woman. And that's the way that they think, man. These people, they're trained. The scriptures talks about training up a child on the way he should go. And when he's older, he will not forget it, basically, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So these small tops, these ooish people, they are trained from babies to hate you. They're trained from babies to treat you like you're a piece of shit. They look at you as really like cattle, and that they can do anything that they want to do to you, and it's not any consequences about it. They can actually really do it, and they pull this stuff off on a day-to-day basis, man. So just wanted to just kick it a little hot sec and stuff, but I'm at this light. So it says thousands of families surged onto highways towards southern Lebanon on Friday, hours after the ceasefire halted 6 weeks of fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. It says a U.S. brokered deal requires Lebanon to curb Hezbollah attacks on Israel, while Israel retains the right to self-defense and says it will keep troops in the south. So see, there you go, right there. Like, you want them to stop fucking them up, but these Israelis, they have the it's in the deal for them to continue fucking you up. So you just supposed to stand there and just take blows. This is the type of this is the reason why we know that this shit is not gonna last, because it don't make no sense, man. You want people to stop defending themselves against a motherfucker that's fucking with them all the time. That's just crazy work. And them Iranians like, nah, we ain't going for that shit. Which Trump been lying anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Ain't no way this ceasefire, ain't no way that shit is gonna stop, man. Ain't no way it's gonna stop. And they talking about America is spending $4 billion a day on this shit. $4 billion a day, bro. That's a lot of fucking money a day. In the meanwhile, you got your citizens struggling. Then this dude Trump stood on TV yesterday and said that the gas is not that high. Hey, what the fuck you mean the gas? But guess what? He's not going to gas up no car. He's not living on check to check. He's not waiting on his check in the next 2 weeks. He's not living like, he's never lived like a regular citizen. And that's another thing too. Like, why would you have somebody as a president that really don't know the heart of the people? He claims to be America first, but of course we can see that he's strictly Israel first, and then from there, I gotta say Israel all the way through, because shit, I was gonna say the corporations next, but shit, they own the damn corporations too. I ain't been out in this area in a while. Big stupid ass house, bro. They been building on this, but I ain't been out here in years. I see they finally got done this big stupid ass house. This bitch look like a damn skyscraper. Anyway, but I'm out here in Amalekville right now. So I can turn the camera on, man. You see some of these fucking cribs. Everything is off the water, off the lakes. Fucking golf courses and shit everywhere. I'm talking about them real super duper big ass gated communities, man. It's crazy work, bro. But anyway, yeah, hey, this man is in. Hey, he's running the earth. This is him. And then you got this. I've been watching a few of the elders going up into this guy talking about all the nations that are against Jacob or some shit like that is considered to be the Edomites. No, the nation of Edom is a race of people, man, coming from the nut sack, ball sack of fucking Esau, Edom. And it's the so-called white man today. The vocab alone. And some guy ran up on, I think, WFI camp somewhere and was trying to run that bullshit. Like, man, stop it. First off, you were saying that the Edomites didn't exist. Now all of a sudden, you got Benjamin Netanyahu talking about Amalek. We must, never forget Amalek, trying to use Bible scriptures, and you ain't heard vocab alone say nothing about that. But you've been talking as if there are no more Edomites. They were absorbed. You know, they use all this stupid ass language. No, these Edomites are still here on the planet, buddy. And it's mainly, is this a detour? The so-called white man. Hey, fucking pull out in front of me, man. It's mainly the so-called white man, man. But this is not a color thing. Look at this shit. This motherfucker got big ass black sheep. I never even noticed that before. Oh shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? I didn't even know they had all this shit blocked off like this. Is this a... Can you... Oh, fuck. I gotta turn around. Salakia, y'all. I ain't even been out here in a while. They been doing bridges and shit like that. Oh, fuck. Salakia. I'm doing a delivery in a whole nother city and shit that I haven't been to in quite some time. Yeah, Edomiteville. It's where all the money be going. They always fixing some shit out this bitch. Look like some kind of farm over here. I ain't never seen this farm. I never seen it, but never paid attention to it. They got these big ass, pretty ass black sheep. Never noticed that before. Wow. Oh no, I think some donkeys or something. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back. Let me go back this way. Unless that was the detour. All right, but anyway, let me concentrate here. But anyway, yeah, just touching on a few things, ride and drive. Esau ass is he's in charge, man. If you can see this, I've done videos on, when I used to come out here before, but if you can see the way this man is out here living, he's living, bro. And this is just, and I say it all the time, this is just one little American city. This man living it up throughout the world like this, bro. There's always a section where he lives by himself and keeps Jake out of, because he got all the wealth. He's got all the wealth. He's in control of all the wealth, man. Even the poorest, or what they call the lower class Edomites, are living it up. And we getting there, man. So, continue on chanting down this man's kingdom, man. They're trying to, vocab out here, still trying to, and using you niggas, man. You Jake, man. Using you Jake. He's not running up on any other Edomites and let's run up on these Hebrew Israelites and try and convert them, whatever the case may be. No, he goes out on the highways and byways, try and find the camps, and it's actually weird. It's real suspect as hell. Like, how is it that you keep popping up on all these camps like how you do? Nigga, you got a podcast, you just teach. Teach what you feel like is what it is. Take your ass out on the highways and byways and pick you a corner and just teach, man. You got a whole system of running down the Hebrew Israelites and finding out their location. It's harassment, man. Nobody fucking believes that shit you talking about no more. All that white Jesus shit is over with, buddy. That's a done deal. It's 2026 and motherfuckers out here still trying to argue that there's a white man coming to save so-called black people. That shit is retarded. Anyway, I'm going to end out there, man. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwam Yasha Allah and a Bible ball.